Hello and welcome, boys and girls, and welcome to Dad and Lad's first new challenge story with the words given by you. And the first story, the words have been provided by a little girl called Darcie, aged 4, from Southampton. And the words that we were given for this challenge are
tree, seats, Christmas, tide, and decorations.
And the title of this story is Darcie's Dolly Tea Party. So look out for the words in the story. When children play with their toys, have you ever stopped to listen to the adventures they have, or the imagination used to create a playtime full of action-packed fun as they immerse themselves in an imaginary world of their own?
Well, it was no different for a little girl called Darcie who just loved playing with her toys, especially her dolls. From the moment she woke up in the morning, she would be seen pretending to feed them as she ate her own breakfast, and getting them changed as she got ready for school herself. The little girl even insisted on walking one to school every day.
In a pushchair, her mum or dad would have to push home again.
As soon as Darcie got back from school, she would pretend to give them dinner, bath them, and change them into their pyjamas so she can tuck them up all into bed before the little girl also had to say goodnight and go to bed too.
Like all children, Darcie also loved Christmas, although it would often interfere with her playtime. What with all the people she had to see, decorations were everywhere, and there was a big tree sat in the front room. But it was all very exciting still.
There was one thing that really got her smiling. Lots of presents.
She loved tearing off the paper to see what was hidden underneath. And if it was another doll, she would squeal with joy and insist on it helping her open any of the gifts she may have left.
On this particular occasion, though, it all came down to the last present, which lay under the tree, wrapped in sparkly paper, and with a pretty ribbon sat on the top.
The anticipation grew as Darcie got her hands on her final gift.
Faster than it would have taken Santa's elves to wrap it, the paper was torn to pieces all over the floor to reveal a new doll sat on its very own chair.
It was amazing, and Darcie clearly loved it.
Although the new doll went everywhere with her, it was not until all the decorations were away for another year and the house was back to normal that the girl was really able to let her imagination loose.
The toy and its seat were placed in the girl's bedroom, next to her doll's house and farmyard playset, complete with a tractor.
One rainy weekend, the weather so terrible that the family decided to have a pajama day, Darcie decided to take herself off to her bedroom for a tea party with her favourite toys.
The scene was set, table laid, guests wearing their finest clothes. The little girl even changed into a princess costume dress for the special playtime adventure. After serving tea and cake to the dolls in attendance, Darcie decided that she had a rather numb bottom from sitting on the floor and needed a seat to sit on.
Ah, that's better, she said as she settled herself down on a new doll's chair.
That is when things got really interesting.
As if by magic, the girl found herself sat at a table, the people around her chatting at a rapid pace, all saying what a wonderful cake they were eating.
Darcie looked around. This was not her bedroom, but somehow it still looked really familiar. The other people around the table even had the same names as her favourite dolls.
Wait, no, that can't be right. This is my doll's house. Cool.
The tea party was great fun, but that was just the beginning of the adventure. With bellies full, the dolls decided that they would have a fashion show. And of course, Darcie knew exactly where all the clothes were kept, as she led the way up to drawers and wardrobes packed full with all sorts of colourful clothing and accessories.
It was so much fun as Darcie and the dolls strutted their stuff down the catwalk to the sound of Old MacDonald Had a Farm and Over the Rainbow, which got them in the mood for some fun of a different kind.
Yes, karaoke!
After lots of singing and dancing, they all decided to take a walk in the farmyard next door to the doll's house, so they could get some fresh air and enjoy the sunshine before dinner.
The farm was a very busy place, with Jess the sheepdog rounding up the pigs.
You mean rounding up the sheep?
Ah, yes, rounding up the sheep. Of course I do. Silly me.
Jess was fast and had all the woolly animals safely in their fenced-off home in no time, before chasing after Old MacDonald's tractor in search of a treat.
At that point, the dolls heard a lot of oinking and squealing from the pigsty, and went to explore what all the fuss was about.
When they arrived, what they saw made them all giggle as all the pigs were rolling in the mud, making mud pigs, which is a bit like making snow angels, but pigs in mud.
Upon seeing Darcie and her doll friends, the noisy animals all rushed to the fence to say hello. But there were so many of them that the fence broke, and the pigs accidentally knocked the finely dressed ladies over, before running off in all different directions.
Old MacDonald, being a true gentleman, had witnessed all this from his tractor, which had a load of hay on the back that was being transported to a nearby barn, went over and made sure the ladies were okay.
I'm sorry about that, and for those naughty piggies muddying your fine clothes, he said before continuing with, they do get excited sometimes. Now, where did they go?
No problem. Mr. MacDonald had no harm done. Besides, my mum washes the clothes anyway. How about we go and find the pigs with Jess to help us, while you fix the fence? Darcie replied as she got back to her feet.
With that, the now muddied dolls set off in search of the runaway animals, Jess running around their feet playfully before shooting off to help round up the naughty piggies.
Not sure if heels and fancy clothes are the right combination for running around a farm, but despite falling over and getting even more dirty, the dolls and Jess had them back in their muddy home, just as Old MacDonald hammered the last nail into the repaired fence. That was when they heard the noise booming around the farm like thunder.
Darcie, dinner! It was the girl's mum calling, and just like that, she was back in her room, sat on the chair, and dolls still sat around the table of little teacups and slices of toy cake.
Coming, she said, heading out of her room and down the stairs. When her mum saw the sight of her clothes, she said,
How on earth can you get so dirty from playing in your room? And, after Darcie had explained while she washed her hands, added, Really? What a great imagination you have, darling.
After she had finished her dinner, Darcie was so tired she asked to go to bed early. It had been such a busy day, even if her mum didn't really believe her adventure.
The end.
The end.